So, good morning, year 8. How are you doing on this lovely morning? So, we are carrying on with our experiment from yesterday, and we're going to analyze our results for testing our reaction time. So, we tested our left and our right hand. You probably actually found that as you did the experiment, you got better at it. You also may have found that you got a bit not interested and stopped focusing, and actually your reaction time decreased. So that will depend on your own results. So can you now get your workbook out and get your graph paper and get your worksheet from yesterday, because that is what we're going to be using to analyze your results today. We are now going to take your results from your tables and we are going to put them into a bar chart. So first of all, we need to label our axis, our X and Y axis. So at the bottom here, we have our number of attempts. And then on the left hand side, our Y axis, we have our reaction time in milliseconds. So first of all, on your worksheet, I want you to label your two axes. So because we are making a bar graph, we are not going to put the bars absolutely next to each other. There needs to be a gap in between them because, as you know, it would be a histogram, and we don't want a histogram, we want a bar graph. So first of all, I need a key. So in my case, I've done my left hand in red and I've done my right hand in blue. So as you can see here, I have already marked my first attempt for my red and my first attempt for my blue. So you might find it easier to put all your first attempts on and then go back and do all your second attempts. Or you might find it easier to do all attempts for your left hand on your graph and then go back and put all your attempts for your right hand. It doesn't matter how you do it, but for each attempt, you are going to put your left hand and your right hand for attempt 1 and so on and so on. So this is my result for attempt 1. Okay, so here you can see I've started to plot my second attempt with my left hand. And again, I've left a gap in between. Now you can see that I have plotted all the results on my chart. So all my attempts with my left hand in red and all my attempts with my right hand in blue. So you should now have a graph. Yours won't look the same as mine because you're going to have different results. I am a lot older than you and my eyesight is terrible. So your results will be very different to mine. Okay, so we're going to use this information here to analyse our results. So you've already done this last week in your skills week. So you should be familiar with this. So you're going to write up your results and include some data. So you can either write it on the front of your worksheet or on the back of your worksheet or in your books. But describe the general relationship on the graph. Have your bars gone down? Have they gone up? Do they not show a pattern? What is the general pattern? So the general pattern on mine is really that both of my left and right hand has gone down. So that shows my reaction time has got quicker. You could just look at your left hand. You could just look at your right hand. You could look overall. Don't forget, if we're going for those higher grades, we do need to be including some data. So you might say in your first attempt, you started off at 250 milliseconds. And by the 8th attempt, you've got your time down to 100 milliseconds. You will have different results to me. So you need to look at your own graph to see actually what is going on here. If you're going for the very high grades here, you need to look for any odd ones out. Are there any anomalies? So was there one where you weren't concentrating and your results went up or down? Give a really clear explanation of your results. Off you go. So we've got our graph, we've got our tables, we've got our analysis of our results. We now need to look at our conclusion. So go back to the question at the beginning. Was the prediction of your reaction time for each hand correct? Was your left hand quicker? Was your right hand quicker? Were you right? Were you accurate with your guess about how long it took you? Did your reaction time improve? So did you get better the more times you did it? Did you get worse? Some people might have got completely bored of doing this and ended up being rubbish. What would you do differently? How could you make this more accurate? You might decide that you needed a bigger ruler. You might decide that you want a different partner because your partner doing it was absolutely rubbish. How could you improve accuracy? What other tests could you do to test your reaction time? You know, you might go on to test different ages. You might go on to test different eyes, different eyesight with your glasses on, without your glasses on. All different things could come from this experiment. So what I want you to do now, I want you to write up a really good detailed conclusion. Make sure you include whether your hypothesis was right and whether your prediction was right. Off you go. Yay, well done everyone. You have now completed your second lesson for your reaction time. So that's one of our activities from our pack done. What you can do now for a little bit of fun is these two websites here. You can go on, you can actually practice your own reaction time. So one is about changing colours and how quickly you can do that. And one of them will actually test your age. So whether you are as quick for your age or as old for your age. You could test your family on this one. The Just Park one is quite fun to do, very easy. It's a driving one as well. So go onto the websites. I will send you through these links via Show My Homework and on your email, so you don't need to actually type them in. You can just use the links I've sent out to you and test your own reaction times. And please, please, please don't forget to send us in some photographs of your beautiful work. Well done.